I sit here, so I just walking through Broadway, and I saw this press conference, so I might as well cover it. So this is about restoring homeowner authority and rights. What's up?
Our home! Our home! Our choice!
Our choice!
Our choice! Our home! Our choice!
Hey,
Where are you guys from?
I'm media, I'm independent. I'm on Twitter, I'm on social media.
Our choice! Our home! Our choice!
When you have a second.
Our home!
Keep going, folks. Keep coming. Keep coming.
Ma'am, madam. Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, you the organizer? You the organizer? All right, cool. Oh.
Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, wait, no, I didn't hear that. I said good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jason Mondesir Caesar. I'd like to thank all of you for coming out here today to discuss this important issue. This rally is intended to allow us New York City residents the opportunity to voice concerns with and call on the City Council to update and make changes to Local Law 18, the short-term rental registration law, which was recently enacted in the city. I'm joined today by other hosts, other homeowners who are concerned that the new law has and will be misapplied to extend its jurisdiction beyond reasonable and consequential application, specifically with regard to owners of single and two-family homes. More so, we feel that this law will create undue burden on everyday New Yorkers who are just trying to make ends meet. A little bit about me. Again, my name is Jason. I am a native New Yorker, a Brooklynite, Brooklyn boy. I grew up in Bed-Stuy. I'm a graduate of Brooklyn Technical High School. I'm a graduate of City University of New York, Brooklyn College. I'm an Eagle Scout in the Stuyford District. And as of the last 8 years, superhost, short-term rental superhost on the Airbnb platform. In 2015, I was challenged with the departure of both my cousin, who shared the responsibilities of the home with me, as well as a tenant who was several months late, several months behind on their rent, and then she got a great job in Turks and Caicos, and he moved to Nicaragua. So thankfully, I was able to pivot and apply my skills as a project and operations manager to a successful hand at short-term rental on Airbnb. My concerns with this new law are that, its implementation has been arduous, confusing, unclear, and even in its inception, it feels rushed, it feels reactive, and it lacks consideration for and input from us, the people who it directly affects. Worst of all, it won't even solve the problems that it's intended to address. I originally wanted to talk about, when I got up here, like all the different types of people that I've hosted that are not New York City tourists. Like, I love tourists, but I've also hosted people moving into the city, people moving out of the city, people visiting relatives who live on or near my block, doctors and nurses who've come to treat COVID patients at the nearby Interfaith Medical Center where I live. And I want to talk about Peach's Restaurant, where I send everybody to go eat. But you'll hear from other hosts that follow me on the economic impact that short-term rentals has on this city, and especially out-of-borough tourism. But at the end of the day, with the rising cost of living in New York City, inflation, skyrocketing property taxes, increased maintenance and operations costs, people depend on this income in order to make ends meet and pay their mortgage. And throughout the city, different people for different reasons may not be able to make that income, with a long-term lease situation. So, the question that this new law raises in my mind, and the question that I pose to the mayor's office and to the city council and to the Office of Special Enforcement specifically, is how do they plan to solve the problem of affordable housing by making our houses unaffordable? So that's my experience, with short-term rental, and I'd like to turn over the microphone to our next speaker, our next host and homeowner, Gia Briscoe from Brooklyn. Let me know.
Hi guys, thank you for coming. You might have seen me before on the news. My husband Paul and I are lifelong New Yorkers, and we own the home that we both live in, which my family has owned in Cobble Hill, Brooklyn for over 100 years. If you couldn't tell by my accent, I'm a Brooklyn girl, okay? Born and raised. Now Jason made so many good points that I don't want to reiterate. Paul and I are professional musicians, and when the pandemic hit and most of the venues and restaurants and places that we played closed because of social distancing, we relied on Airbnb's income for our life, really, basically. And we believe that the city should not have a say in who we have in our own homes, especially as small homeowners. Nothing to do with it. Like, they want to know who's going to live in our homes with us, who leaves our homes. What does that have to do with Airbnb or safety? I just don't understand. Anyway, we understand there's a need for regulations, okay, for the bad actors that have multiple listings and made it bad for people like us who own our own homes, who live in our own homes. Shouldn't we say who comes and goes out of our homes? That we're allowed, no matter how many days we want them there, how long or how short, this should be up to us as New Yorkers and United States citizens. And how many people exactly that we can contact? There are people all over this world that want to come visit our iconic city. And New York and that guy is trying to take this away from them. How could you do that to the restaurants? Haven't they suffered enough? We need the tourism, and like Jason said, most of our people come, and there's hotels in our neighborhoods that are like 2 miles away. They're visiting family, they're coming to see new grandchildren. They want an experience that only homeowners can give them. They cannot find that in the sterile environment of a hotel. Not saying it doesn't belong, and hotels don't, serve a great purpose in the city, but we're not doing anything to them. We're doing what we can for our city. We're taxpayers, we're homeowners. All we do is we want to do the right thing. We want to contribute to our city. We love the city. It's our city. And our elected officials that we put there are trying to take that away. They need to listen to us. We are the New Yorkers who are going to be here long after most of them are gone. Okay?
That's right.
We're not going anywhere. That's what they need to know. Now, we got so angry and frustrated over this that we decided, along with other hosts, to bring a lawsuit against New York City. We didn't want to do that. I love my city. This is where I grew up. It's where my grandparents came from, a little town in Italy, and bought a house in 1921. And now we're being told who and what we can do with our own homes. Overreach. If we don't fight, and that's why Paul and I are fighting and brought this lawsuit against the city we love. Now, we got it pushed up from July to September because of this lawsuit. We can't stop now. The city needs to take a little more time and listen to us, all of us, each story, because we all have to. Don't paint us with a broad stroke. We want to go after the ones that are taking advantage of this and have multiple listings all over, and they're not there to regulate them. Fine. Leave us alone in our own homes.
Thank you, Gia. Next we have up Amy Thrasher from Queens.
Hi everyone, my name is Amy Thrasher. I live in beautiful Astoria, Queens. I have been a superhost all of my 7 years with Airbnb, and I want to tell you, my guests love my property. They love the area, and to lose this is just awful. I've lived in the city for more than 40 years, and sharing my home on Airbnb is what allows me to stay in the city. I testified in person in front of City Council when they were considering the bill. I joined the hearings when the Office of Special Enforcement was designing the rules to implement the law. Throughout this nearly 2-year process, I have been ignored again and again by our leaders. As I told my local City Council member, I love New York, but New York is not loving me back. Short-term rentals encourage tourism in the outer boroughs and bring income not only to the local businesses. My guests shop at the supermarket, they go to the restaurants, but also they use the transit system. They come into Manhattan, they're tourists. I see receipts. They spend money. Our elected officials should be embracing us hosts, but instead they're tearing us down with burdensome, unnecessary regulations. Now, the space I share, I have a 2-family home with a ground level apartment. It has never been on the market as a rental unit, not even before I bought the house. It was always occupied by family. So I'm not taking anything away from housing. I am a retiree, and I discovered when I retired I did not plan very well for my retirement. And this Airbnb is what is allowing me to stay in my home. And I'm just trying to scrape by. I'm not getting rich. I'm just paying my bills. And the city is trying to take that away from me. This is a dire situation. For me, it is devastating. I can't live off my Social Security and pension. Without my hosting income, I will not be able to pay my mortgage, and I will either lose my home or have to sell it and move. And I don't want to move.
Thank you.
I know I'm not the only one standing here today in this position. There are people out there across the 5 boroughs who are facing the same thing. This law is bad. It needs to be repealed or at the very least amended. What they're doing is punishing us. Why? Why are they punishing us for trying to live in the most expensive city in the world?
Yes.
The city can't continue to ignore us. Seniors, teachers, mothers, and other hardworking New Yorkers who need this income. They must listen to us now. City officials, hear us, listen to us. Stop this bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy, for your passionate account. I want to thank everyone again for bearing with all of us in this heat. I'm feeling it too. Next up, we have Will Gomez from Queens.
Good morning to everyone. I'm here today representing not just me, but this beautiful community around me. I'm here representing all this beautiful community around me that stand for our rights. I'm a short-term rental host in Queens. I live with my wife and my sister, and we have been sharing our space in our primary home on Airbnb for the last few years. I have lived in New York since 2004, the year that I moved to this amazing city from a native Colombia in South America. And every year it has gotten increasingly more expensive to survive and keep up with our bills. Around a year ago, I was forced to leave my job as my employer did not respect the seniority I had and did not grant an FMLA federal protection for medical treatment I needed. As of today, I'm still waiting on help and answer. From the local union, I have been supporting and paying for the last 15 years of my life. The problem with this law, we have to call it the right way. It's bad law. That's it. It's bad law. It goes against the free use of everyday New Yorkers' own private property. Local 18 not only attacks our city and state's middle class, but it also attacks the principles of the economy of the United States of America. The U.S. stands for free markets, free economy, and the right to private property. This last one is only the natural right of all individuals to create, obtain, and control their possessions, beliefs, faculties, and opinions, as well as the fruits of their labor. This new law goes against these fundamental principles to every American New Yorker. It is a problem to me to hear the guy who wrote this bad law. His name is Ben Kalos. Remember that name, Ben Kalos. He was the person who started this nonsensical local law, openly state, and he openly states in public channels that if he will be a small owner, he will not be scared, as this is it's only designed for illegal rental, which is not right. In fact, one of the biggest problems of local law is that the person who wrote the law and the elected officials who supported did not even read the writing of such a law and the full extent of it, as the final writing only puts middle class and small home-owning New Yorkers at a big disadvantage, and not only attacks the right to private property, but their own privacy as well as putting their economy in jeopardy.
Yeah.
I don't want to say myself too much because I will be here all day. But lastly, I want to thank Airbnb for this space, and for being Airbnb's similar home sharing platform, for being a blessing to our family. I would like also to take this opportunity to thank RHOAR, which stands for Restored Homeowner Right Authority. Bringing us together, and the 40,000 plus hosts and their families in New York City and their families and friends that support our cause. I would like also take a moment to speak to Mayor Eddie Gaddis and hope he understands that this law threatens to choke out middle class homeowners like my sister and I, and my little dog Nina too, who are simply trying to pay our bills and put food on the table. We are not big landlords or illegal operators. We voted for you based on the ideals you presented during your campaign. Ideals that we believe in and ideals we voted for. We're 40,000 plus people. Remember that number, 40,000 plus. And our families. So we hope that you listen to us just the way we listened to your campaign and gave you our vote. Thank you.
Thank you. If anyone in the sun would like to move over, you can. We appreciate it. Also, I'm going to call up Rupi Aurora from Queens, and just to let you know, Airbnb does have water for the for you guys after this. Thank you. Come on, Rupi. Sorry, Airbnb, give away all your water.
My name is Rupi and I've lived in Foster since 1995. Every year it's become more unaffordable to support myself independently as a retired senior citizen living alone on Social Security. Living on Social Security is simply not enough to cover the rising costs of living and maintaining my home. But by hosting on Airbnb, I can stay independent, pay my bills, and not depend on government assistance. Hosting on Airbnb has been the difference between paying for emergency home repairs and defaulting on my property taxes. When I face multiple $650 monthly water bills because of the leaks, I was able to hire someone to fix it. Because of this supplemental income, I would not be healthy and safe in my home without the money unable to earn. Banning short-term rentals creates further inequality in more ways than one. The guests who stay in short-term rentals in my neighborhood would not stay in luxury hotels in Manhattan. Some of my guests include families and New Yorkers revisiting the new neighborhood that raised them. The ban would deprive low-income visitors looking to stay near loved ones and travelers in need of affordable options to lodge in the city. I have joined with other hosts to bring legal actions against the city and challenge these rules in court, because this ban will jeopardize my future and the future I've created for my family, along with futures of countless other hosts around the city. I'm glad the city has decided to delay enforcement of these regulations until the end of the summer, but it's not enough. What will happen to the guests who come to New York City to enjoy the fall and around the holidays? I believe the city can have reasonable regulations that support my ability to make a living by sharing my home. For retired women like me, it's imperative that they do this. Yes.
investors, who are using their homes this way. I know all of you are out here because you feel strongly about this, but unfortunately we don't have time to hear from everyone. I'm going to call up one last person, Tony Lindsay from Brooklyn, for closing remarks.
Tony! Hello, everybody. First, I want to thank everybody for coming out here, especially everyone from Roar. We started off as an idea that was in a Facebook group, and we all decided to take some form of action. Now, I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I live in East New York, Brooklyn. And I think it's very important that all of us, we provide a diverse range of honest experiences. And the reason why I'm here today is because, once again, we have a local government policy that is touted as being for the protection of the people, but is disproportionately having a direct harmful effect on hard-working, poor homeowners in this city. Like, we're literally poor right now because the cost of living is just absolutely ridiculous here. Now, we've seen it time and time again. We've seen policies, we've seen restrictions that are supposed to hold bad actors accountable, but for some reason, the only people who seem to get the brunt of all of the enforcement are the people like these people standing behind me who are homeowners who have a vested interest in this city. These are the people, this is our home. Our community. Now, we literally built this community. Now, I know I can't be up here long, but I do want to say, I'm the child of immigrants. My parents immigrated to this country. They came to this country in the 1960s looking for a better life. They worked hard. They bought their first home, the home that I live in. And when they were ready to retire, I bought that home from them. And they didn't want the money from me, but I bought that home from them just so that they could experience the American dream that they dreamed of. And so I could also have a property where I can hand down my family home to my children. But that dream is being threatened now due to this policy and these heavy restrictions that have snatched away the lifeline that many of us have taken advantage of just to be able to survive in this city. And I know everyone likes to be polite and no one wants to offend, but I am one of those people in this city who was greatly harmed from the impact of the policies that, like the eviction moratorium, that allowed a lot of bad actors to get away with squatting in our homes for free for years. And it provided no safety net for the homeowners who are standing here behind us. And a lot of these homeowners, the reason why they even started Airbnb was in order to save themselves from all the money that they were losing from these tenants. So I know I'm here for a while, but I'm just so upset about it because I can relate to all the stories. We have elderly people who are trying to supplement their Social Security income. You have families who, when they go away on vacation, just to cover the bills, they may want to share their home. So we know who the bad actors, and we've seen them time and time again on television from our mayor and the previous administration, where they call these bad actors out. And these people were the developers, these real estate investors who continued to abuse the system. And never once did I see a 1 or 2 family homeowner in being called out as any of the culprits in this situation. So there's no excuse, because this policy right here, it is wicked, it is hostile, and it is completely unfair.
Okay. Tell us how you really feel. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming out again to discuss this important issue. As I said again, Airbnb is around with some refreshments in this heat, and stay tuned for development on updates with this law. Thank you very much.
Hey, ho ho! This hosting ban has got to go. Hey, hey, ho ho! This hosting ban has got to go.